So you just bought a PTR 91. Congratulations, it's a great rifle. I love mine. Okay, now you're going to need some magazines. Okay, the PTR 91 generally comes with one magazine, one aluminum magazine, which mine did. I ordered mine through Atlantic Firearms and had to have it shipped. They did a fantastic job. I got it in less than a week, which was great. But yeah, mine included one aluminum magazine. And they actually, on the market right now, there are both aluminum magazines and steel magazines. The steel magazines are quite a bit heavier, and they're generally a little more expensive. A lot of people are saying you can get the aluminum ones for, I don't know, maybe $2 or $3. I spent a little more than that on mine. I think I spent about $6 each on the aluminum, and the steel I think were like $9 or $10. I did get them all from the same place. I got them from rtgparts.com. They did a fantastic job getting me my magazines, and when they showed up, they were all packaged in plastic, just like this. This one, obviously, I haven't opened yet. I haven't gotten around to cleaning it, which brings me to my next point. You are going to need to clean these. These are all surplus magazines. There are no commercially made, at least to my knowledge, there are no commercially made PTR or G3 magazines. So all of these are surplus, which means they are old and usually quite dirty. The ones that I did clean here, the aluminum ones, were actually the dirtiest. One of them, it was pretty bizarre. There was dirt down in the floor plate here that I had to scrape out. There were like bits of what looked like leaves in there that I had to clean out. They were pretty gross. Like this guy here, hopefully you can see this on the camera. This guy is actually date stamped 266, and it says G3 HK, which this is actually an HK magazine. This was manufactured by HK in February of 1966. So this is fairly old. This steel one right here, it says G3 on it, but it has a different little logo. I'm not sure who made this. I'll have to look into that, but this is date stamped 162. So this was January of 1962. This is pretty old. It's in decent condition. This other one's a little more beat up, a little more rough around the edges. I don't really care about that. I kind of think it looks cool that way, actually. But it's surplus. These have been used and abused and kicked around for who knows how long by how many different people before they get stored away. And like I said, they're generally not cleaned. So actually, something I noticed, I just got around to cleaning the steel ones. I took the aluminum ones out first to try a couple of these. And what I noticed when I went to clean the steel magazines is that, let me try to get these into the frame here, the floor plates are very different. Let me show you how these work. Actually, the floor plate on the aluminum magazines is pretty much the way modern magazines are. It has a little push. It's not really a button. You'll see when I take it apart, you have to depress this little button here, and a lot of times I'll just use a little Allen wrench, to depress that and get that going, and then you can just slide that forward, and be careful, this is under spring tension. There's a spring in here, so you want to take that floor plate off, which just comes right off, and then slowly let the spring out. There again, be careful so it doesn't fly across the room. And the whole thing just pops out. So there is your spring and follower. And there is your empty magazine shell. So just like a standard magazine today, comes apart fairly easily. You clean the spring, clean the inside. I just usually run a rag through there dry and just kind of, that's what I did with these. I just ran a dry rag through there and kind of got most of the powder residue out that way. So these are fairly easy to clean, just like anything, any magazine that is. Now these, on the other hand, the steel magazines, there is no push button, and these are under spring tension, of course. So these work very similar to the old M16 magazines, where you just basically have to pry the floor plate off, which, if you have a butter knife, that works great. Let's see if I can get this guy going here for you. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to try to get this thing going. Sorry about that. I had to work with this magazine for a second here. That floor plate was really stuck on there, but I got it started here. So, like I said, just if you have a butter knife, these work great. Just slip it under that lip there, and it only goes on off and on one way. So, just kind of get that thing started just like that, and you can pull it forward. But there again, remember, there's that spring in there, and that spring is going to want to come right up. So you got to kind of block it with your finger there. At least I did. All right, so that comes out just the same. And there's your follower. Okay, now here's the difference. The aluminum ones have the plate on the bottom that's attached to the spring, where the steel ones do not. So other than that, they're exactly the same though. The followers are the same, and let me see if I can get those in the frame, sorry. The followers are the same. The springs are the same, just slightly different floor plate designs. To get these back together, I'll go back to the aluminum magazine. You always have to make sure you're putting the follower in the right way. It only goes in one way. So just go ahead and stick that back in there. Run the spring all the way up inside. Oops, let me turn this over for you. Just run the spring all the way up. There you go. And then you take your floor plate, which only goes on one way, and push it this way. And then you'll hear the snap. There you go. There's a little button popping up there. So that guy's back together. Okay. And same thing with the steel magazine. You want to make sure that your follower is going in the right way. Okay, it goes right up inside exactly the same way, and it doesn't have that piece attached to the bottom of the spring, so you kind of have to get that in there. It's maybe a little more awkward to push that down, especially with sweaty hands like mine are. But the floor plate goes on exactly the same. It goes on one way, and you just push it on, which I did have a little bit more trouble with the steel. Alright guys, I finally got that guy started on there. This floor plate's acting up on me. It's really stiff to get on there and try to hold that spring in there just against the bare spring. It's more awkward. So that is a downside, I would say, for the steel magazines. But once that thing is lined up and on there, then you can just push it all the way closed, just like that. But yeah, definitely more of a chore to get these guys cleaned. And taken apart and put back together. They are solid. I will say that these things feel rock solid. The aluminum ones, they're aluminum. They're lightweight, and that's the main thing. They're a lightweight magazine, and if they bend or whatever, just throw it out and grab a new one. The steel magazines, I'm assuming would last a lot longer. However, you do have to worry about rust. The ones I got so far, well, from just the two, they look pretty good. They're a little worn, but they do look pretty good. A little bit of surface rust it can be expected with these guys, but they're a necessity. You just got a new rifle, and you need magazines for it. So I hope you guys found this video entertaining. If nothing else, I was having a little bit of a difficulty with the steel magazines, but if you liked the video, hit the like button, and also subscribe to my channel. That would help me out a lot. There's a lot more videos coming. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.